I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Need a motion to approve the minutes, July 8th and July 30th.
I'll make a motion.
Second. All in favor. Street Department 80, what do you got there? Got a whole packet full, looks like.
We're not staying there.
Yeah, that's fine right there.
First thing, there, something we pushed for, trying to get a lot of the bigger trees and things trimmed in the town of Dale before the school started. That's what I was pushing for. And that was accomplished. I know there's a few little small ones that we have equipment to take care of those, as we go, as you drive around, those little things, but nothing big. Also, South Washington from New 231 to Brown Street has been restriped. Another thing we was trying to push before school started, and we're happy with that. And something I have here that I was told to bring up, I guess we'll need to ask for approval from the council to apply for the community crossing grants for streets. Sending out, you have to grade streets from 1 to 10 every year, and then write streets down. You think, by grade, what you think need to be finished, resurfaced, and we already have a list of those, and then also like approval from the council to let Midwest handle the grant process. They've done a super job for us at Main Street project that I still can't believe we got that all done in one phase, not three. Yeah. And that's something I think council will have to vote on. I don't know. To be approved.
No, we need to, Bruce.
And
Yes, it needs to be in form of a motion, one. And you can include one motion, it could be one, you apply for community crossing grants, and two, that you would paying Midwest engineers to aid in the application process. If you can put it all in one motion, or you make two separate motions, whatever.
I'm gonna make up one motion. Somebody want to make that motion?
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
All in favor?
also other things we've been working on, we've been discussing things even when the truck stop was first being built. About one time we talked about getting a truck entrance that had some of the solar flashing lights. And the more we studied things, one of our local truck drivers, he's retired, a friend of mine, that mentioned something about rumble strips, great idea and stuff. But the more we talk to people about things, rumble strips, people there, and keep the sounds would keep people awake. And then another friend mentioned about these, you see them more and more, the radar controlled speed limit signs. And you can set them up the speed you want people to travel. And when they come up on there for speeding, it tells your speed, but if you're going over speed limit, they start flashing faster. And then there's a little sign on the bottom, digital sign, tells us to slow down. And it seems like people pay more attention if something's flashing, especially if they see how fast we're going.
Yeah.
And I think we have some quotes, Dan and Austin, and we've talked to Scott about his opinion on certain things on it. And I think they've got several quotes on that.
Newburgh's putting one in this week.
Yeah.
And they're gonna add 3 more.
Oh, yeah. They're going up to, people pay attention to flashing signs.
Most every town you go into anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And to me, we feel like that's probably the safest thing to do before they come up on that curve, because people will notice that quicker than anything.
Now, this is not gonna monitor the speed of them, it's just to,
It's a notification.
notification, I mean, it's not gonna monitor them or anything like that.
No. It's just something it'll tell you, when you come up on it, it'll tell you how fast that vehicle is going. If they're going too fast, it'll start flashing faster. And then it'll slow down, it'll tell you slow down on this bottom of the sign. Is that correct, Office?
It's kind of like the one out here on 231, right?
I think in the village they have one somewhere. In fact, I called Chris Hams about that. In fact, I think Greenberg got one as you go into town. Most towns do anymore. I know some of the state puts up for surveys. Yeah.
I just want to make sure it's not one that
No, it's,
monitors for.
no.
And if it's a survey, you gotta buy the upgraded one, or if you want to keep track, yeah. You know.
We don't want to keep track of.
Okay, well, that's the only one you can survey, but,
And I don't know, like I said, I know some of the quotes and stuff roughly, but,
Has everybody seen the quotes?
Yeah,
Yeah, we all do.
I would make a motion to go with the radar sign for the 3882. They're the lower one.
that's it.
Seemed like they had quite a bit of options on them.
Yeah, I believe it's the same one they have in.
yeah.
I'll second it. You all in favor?
oh, okay. Also, I think Bruce has the envelopes. We've been gathering quotes, for, running electric for the new bathrooms. They put an in-ground box in, wanting to, the park, Johnny Run, the park director's wanting to run, lights to the volleyball courts. And, that consists of 2 poles with 2 lights on each side, in between them, but one between. And from that point, they'll curve out and go to the digital sign.
Okay.
And, so Bruce will have the quotes for them. I had them put in as an alternative, since they have to trench anyway, put an extra conduit in that distance in case we ever wanted to put
Okay.
another pole with a camera or light or receptacle or whatever. At least we know it's there, and we'll run tracers on, make sure there's tracer wires on them too.
Now, is that included in the quotes or is that something?
Well, that might show as an alternative,
Okay.
just to make sure. I told him we'll probably do it, because I talked to Brian also, and he thought it'd be a great idea
Okay.
too, for camera wise or whatever, in case we do something different. And, I'll go ahead and finish up here and let Bruce open them up. But town cleanup, I think everybody's talked about the, August 25th, which is on a Monday, and the 28th on a Thursday. If any people would, in town would be willing to volunteer to help us out, actually, a couple of, companies companies here in town's already offered to help us out. And we appreciate that. And anything the community themselves can do, just to help clean the town up for the Dale Falls Festival, we would appreciate that.
Dates again.
Hmm?
Dates again.
25th.
25th and
28th.
28th. And I think that's about all I have other than what Bruce asked for.
We usually meet about 5 on the cleanup days, right? 4:30 or 5?
Yeah. Okay.
Start at 4:30.
And that's all I have.
Thank you, Ed.
Okay, well, we ready for bids?
Yeah.
Okay. First one, I don't know who's. It's a total bid of
This
this, I'm sorry, it's, Fonda Electric LLC,
is,
Mariah Hill. I'm sorry. It's $7,011.09. 7011.09. Next one is Fisher Electric Incorporated. It is, that's my, for labor and materials for above, $9,544, not to exceed $11,250. And to provide the alternate with the conduit required wrenching and wheel plowing, add $2,200 to $2,600.
Extra,
Yes. And the next one is GF Electric, looks like.
What is it?
GF Electric. GF Electric LLC from Lamar. Um, Shows a total bid, labor and material, $4,645. So if you want to read through,
It show a second conduit.
no. Well, it's got a lot of stuff in there. It didn't show it as an alternate. Now, whether it's listed, there's listed 12 things in there. I didn't take time to read it. That's,
Shows you how many feet of electric they had.
I did not, probably does, but that's for the board to determine, and somebody needs to probably take it under advisement or.
Let's take it.
yeah, I think we
Or
do.
look at it.
Take the motion.
Because they're all, they're not uniform, they're various things, and somebody needs to take a look at it and see what they did include. It's not a.
Yeah.
It's not exact engineer specs bids.
Make a motion to take it under advisement.
To approve the, if it's all correct, to approve the smallest bid, or if it's,
I mean, if everything's dollar for dollar and, I mean, if it's all within reason, I mean, we could probably use that, and go with the lowest bid.
there's quite a difference in that.
And there's a lot of language in
Like
I
we
mean,
need to table it.
what they're.
Who's gonna be the one to look at it and determine
I
it?
don't know.
We need to table it and look at it thoroughly.
Well, I mean, if he's making the motion, approve it pending everything's right with it.
I guess the question is who's to determine everything.
Yeah,
Nobody-
so we have to have, Clint Rosen in it possibly, or
Well, I don't know what's whether these
I
guys.
called him, and all that thing I questioned whether he's including that second conduit.
yeah,
There's a whole list of items that they say they will do, and I did not take the time to read it all. That's.
Eddie, can this wait till the next meeting if we, look through all this and,
And, oh, it's fine with me. I know people want to try to get it done.
Yeah,
Oh,
I like to see that too.
both Paul says,
The lowest one doesn't include concrete or a timer.
So that they need to be studied,
Yeah.
because they're not apples to apples.
Yeah.
Correct.
yeah, this says conduit for sign just has one, so. One, two, right? Conduit,
No, that's the extra.
oh, extra,
Yeah.
that includes the lights and. I don't see that first one includes. That.
Yes.
Oh, okay, go on, please. Definitely have somebody look at it, I just don't know. I kind of like, Mary's motion to prove it pending, have somebody look at it to decide if it's all the same. So you want to make that motion and
You know, I'll still stay with that motion that we take it under advisement, let somebody else look at it, determine which is appropriate for what we're needing to get done. And if everything looks good and it's the lowest bid and it's compatible with the others, then, or comparable to the others, then we can go ahead and approve it.
I'll second
okay, all in favor of that? Hey, we need to try and figure out somebody to look at this and make sure that's right. We'll find somebody. Okay. Okay. John's not here, right? Parking right, John. Okay. Zoning administrator, Bill, we got.
Anything? Any questions, anything?
Bill, what about Archer's Estates? Have you heard anything about that or not?
No.
So, you know, that's gonna go or not, right? Can't look. Had all the plans and everything, but
Oh, that's why.
it fell apart, I guess.
Heard a word.
Okay.
Can't go up to the
Wastewater, Dave, what do you got?
Wastewater, not much to report. I did have a Midwestern engineer guy come out, I guess last week, and he checked out my main lift station to look it over, and he's gonna put something together for a new panel and some rehab work on it.
Oh,
So I don't know when he'll have that done, hopefully by the next meeting.
oh,
I know we had some money left over from some previous work that we've done in Cindy, and they said we could use it for that, so it should come out of that. I think it's $180,000 that was left over from some jobs. And we're checking into that.
okay,
And
great.
other than that, everything's going pretty good.
Okay, that's good. Thank you, Dean.
Good.
Water Department, Austin, you got anything?
Yeah. Kind of went through our brass couplings over the past year, trying to use up all the old ones we've had. So I got a few quotes here for some new brass coupling, repair couplings, and brass fittings that we need. And we actually have four, is it four, right, new residents that are building in town that are gonna need, well, not building, they need new meters. Some of them are building, some of them are needing meters. So a lot of this is being put in the ground as soon as we get it. You know, it's spoken for. But we're just needing to replenish our stock on our shelves, basically, for all the brass fittings we've used. And there's three different prices here from three different companies. And the lowest bid, I don't know if I'm supposed to say that out loud, but Utility Supply has the lowest one, if it's hard to read on.
And you talked to Cindy about where we get the money for that.
Yeah, we talked to her.
Okay. Well, we definitely need that, so might want to make a motion.
I'll make that motion.
it. I'll second
Utility supply. All in favor? Okay.
Maybe that's it. Thank you.
That's all you got? Police department, Scott?
Things. One thing is I'd like to give an attaboy to Kevin Farmer. While he was doing Holiday World traffic, he responded to a medical call. Him and another officer were able to do CPR, and they did use the AED to shock, brought the lady back. I don't know what the condition of the lady is. Last I heard, she was still in the hospital. The other thing is, we bought electronic sights for the pistols. I had to get a new tire for the Durango because there was a puncture in the sidewall. And I'm working on getting first aid kits to put in all town vehicles. That way, if they're on a skid steer, the excavator, dump truck, whatever, their trucks, that way they have a first aid kit available to them. So I'm still working on those. Other than that, that's pretty much all I have.
Scott, I got one more thing for you here. You got a plaque for you for Scott Lyman in honor of 25 years dedicated service to the town of Dale. So,
didn't have to do that.
We'll get a picture after the meeting or something. Thank you, Scott. That's more there. Ron Bass, you on the agenda? You got something you want to bring up?
Yes.
Yeah, come on up. Just stay in front of that table there and the camera will pick you up.
In front, Ronnie.
Yeah, right in front of the table there. Yeah, that's good. Right. That's fine.
Fine.
Yeah.
We won't mind.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm Ron Bays. I live on 107 East Oak Street. It's Excello Heights is the subdivision that we live in. And, Monday, I think it was 2 weeks ago, was that the 4th? Whatever, the date 4th. I was awakened by a noise that sounded like a large pump. And I thought, what would be pumping at this time, at 3 o'clock? Well, I'm curious, so I get up, open my bedroom window, look down to the end of the east end of Oak Street, East Oak Street. And the place is ablaze with lights. And I see a construction company with a pumper truck pouring concrete. Now, to me, we are on Central Daylight Time. I went down and talked to the foreman, and I questioned him about the early hour that he started working. And this morning I had talked to a lady that lives almost across the street from the residents or new residents. And she said that workers actually arrived at 2 a.m. That's Central Time. The foreman didn't seem as if there was anything wrong with the early work that they were doing. I, for the most part, thought that it was highly inconsiderate of the people living on that street. But that's just my opinion. I talked to several of the people, and they likewise thought, pretty inconsiderate. I said to the foreman, well, I think we have an ordinance that regulates the time that one could begin work. He says, well, we'll work when we want to. Well, that sort of surprised me. And I said, well, I think I'll just talk to Scott. Well, I did go to Scott, and I knocked on his door, and I knocked 2 or 3 times, and I thought, oh my, I probably got him up out of bed, which I did. I apologized for my wakening him. And he said that he would get a hold of someone from the town to go down and check with those individuals. And it was Kirstein's Homes that was doing the work. And it wasn't long after that. I was sitting on the front porch of one of probably the older people. I'm the second oldest person in the subdivision, and I was talking to a lady that is just a few years older than me, and uh, she said she had been awakened by this, and she was sitting out on her porch. So I sat there and talked with her, and she said, you know, that's pretty early to start working. And I did notice that a couple of our town employees did drive down there and talk to them. I don't know what was said to them, uh, but I do want to thank Scott for quickly getting on the problem and thank the town employees that went and talked to the individual. Uh, it was about time for me to go to work. I work over at Christmas Lake Village and have worked over there part-time. This year was my 50th year over there. And before I, you know, headed to work, I did stop in there and talk to the foreman, and his attitude seemed to have changed quite a bit. He said that he had called the home office, and I suppose what had happened was that he had gotten the word to, for, I guess, a lack of saying something completely, he, in my opinion, it was CYA, and he apologized. Was it sincere? I doubt seriously. I think that, again, my opinion, that, by the way, my wife did call Todd Kirsteins and talk to him, the owner of the company. And I think she called over a dozen times before she was able to get a hold of him. There are 3 numbers that the Kirsteins organization has. She tried each one of those, and then finally, on the 12th try, Todd answers. And about the same information that I had gotten from the foreman. We will pour when we want to. And I think that Mr. Kirsteins had been raised under a philosophy that if you can fake sincerity, you'll go a long way in business and our politics. So his apology, in my estimation, amounted to nothing. Now, my question is there an ordinance that we have? I assume that when you look at your rules, it's not very clear cut. I think a term that I have heard and hear numerous times, this is a gray area. Well, if that is the case, then gray areas should become black areas and be very specific as to when certain things can be done. Now, we in that subdivision have no problem at all with the individual that is building the home. In fact, we all like the guy. He was in my graduating high school class. So, I think, it was a great deal that he was coming to our subdivision. But I am deeply upset with the Kirstein's organization. As I've said, I worked 50 years over at Christmas Lake Village. I have seen a number of contractors during that time period. One of the things that a lot of us guys say when we see this particular business come in, we say job security. Because we have seen over the years very sloppy camp work sites. Paper, debris, blowing all over the place. Parking by the workers. It seems like they come in droves and park anywhere they want, obstruct traffic, and are a problem. Now, I have thought about this, and I've said, do we actually have a rule, a time? If we don't have, then I think it's very important that we should have such a time as a very specific time as to when work can begin. Have we thought about this? I watched 2 pumper trucks come in down there. I don't know, they were a red and white truck. I didn't notice a name on it, but pumpers can carry a tremendous amount of weight. Did any of you guys receive a notification as to how much weight? Because I thought we had an 8-ton limit on our road, Main Street. I think that last truck came down Main Street. What was the tonnage on that truck? Those are my questions. Those are my concerns. I thank you for listening to me, and I appreciate the work that you people do. Thank you.
Thank you, Ron. Well, you want to discuss that in here?
I'm not, in our ordinance, it says it starts about, that's something maybe you want to discuss.
This is just a one-time thing, right, Ron? I mean,
Mr. Kirstein told my wife that this was just a one-time thing. Okay. He does have one more pour to make, and that is the driveway. So, he'll probably do it during normal working hours in the central time zone, because that's what we are in. But are we concerned about our roads? I mean, they can carry a lot.
There's places for 2 more houses there in Durrani.
What is that?
There's places for 2 more housing, right?
That don't
I
mean,
think
that
so.
don't mean nobody's gonna build it.
Yes, I think Daryl does have, room for 2 more. But, you know, I mean, don't get me wrong, I mean, you know, if you go into our neighborhood, we're pretty low-key people. I mean, you don't hear much out of us, and we don't complain much. But, you know, that, to me, I've thought about this, and ours is just one little area. I mean, I started thinking today, what about the people over in, Ray Van Winkle's area, where they have building back in there? I wonder,
As far as the street goes, they're gonna repave that whole street when they get done with that building there. That's,
okay,
they signed a contract to that, right, Phil?
do they have times when they can start working?
Well, no, we can't really,
No,
it's kinda hard to set time. We got a 24-hour factory down here. You can't set time.
is there a way that we can look at maybe adopting an ordinance with a time limit for like maybe 6 o'clock in the morning, central time, our time? Where people don't come in here, because future use, you know, what's gonna happen if we start getting growth and people come in here at 4, 3 o'clock in the morning and start constructing?
I think the main reason they done that, it's been 90-some degrees. They wanna get that concrete done before it's 90 degrees.
I
out
don't
there.
know, you
I
can
mean,
work
that's my
on it,
opinion.
I know what it's like, you know.
Yeah. It's a one-time thing. I mean, good Lord.
This is the first 50 years, first
Yeah.
we've had an issue
Yeah.
brought to the board like this, so we don't have, but certainly the board can address.
Hey, I got a question. If
Yes,
you could
whatever.
ask them, you're talking about the concrete trucks. Could they come in off of Metcalf? That'd just be a short street down there to the house instead of coming
Yeah,
through
that's where they
town.
probably ought to, that's, or at least.
You wanna kind of mention that to them down there or something, or?
Short path possible should be instead of trying.
Yeah, just be a short street off of Metcalf.
That's something they ought to be contacted about.
Yeah, okay.
And whoever they contract to bring in.
Yeah.
Do so.
I've heard from a couple up here of one-time deal. True. And it sounds to me like the time can't be set, but, you know, every time I go into the village, you have a specific time, if you're a contractor, that you can come in and work. And the village has been around for, I think, since about 1967.
You talking like Christmas Lake Village?
Yes, I am.
Well, this ain't no village, so.
Well, I mean,
Yeah, sure.
it's it's the biggest community in Spencer County.
Phil, what'd you have to come in?
Cause the village can control their time because they gotta go through the gate. And I'll work for their several times, they get in before 6 o'clock. There's no time getting out, you gotta be in, you can't get in past that gate before 6 o'clock. Here in Dale, I don't know how we regulate it,
Yeah, you can't, we don't have a gate.
and there's no way to really tell
What do you guys think? Continue, man.
them.
We ought to be able to conduct a ordinance. Common sense would tell you not to be going out there at 3 and 4 o'clock in the morning, disturbing the peace.
Got the whole on what you're doing too.
Are you going to have, and I'm glad for new homes to be built, but out here by Ronnie Tooley, I think that they're going to start soon on that. They bush hog the area.
Yeah, I just asked Phil about it earlier. That's supposed to go, but it's a hold of them now. We don't even know if it's gonna go or not, right, Phil?
Haven't heard a word.
They had trouble with whether it was state or getting money or what was the deal? I don't know. But
Can I make a motion to look at adopting an ordinance to set a time limit where, for future use? growth and stuff, that we don't have people coming in here that early in the morning?
On all construction.
One time in 50 years, we want to write an ordinance on it.
Problem, kind of, fix it. Problem is, if it's a one-time deal, it could be in and out before we know it, then what are you gonna do, fine them, or how are you gonna handle that? You know what I'm saying?
Well, I'm talking about general construction period. That's what I'm talking about.
You talking this residential area or industrial or commercial? or
It is, sir, yeah.
Residential from industrial.
I mean, anything within the town or, within the town
So
limits.
you're including industrial as well.
I think, that we need to set some time frame on it. Because there are other businesses that might be trying to operate and don't want to be disturbed by the construction.
Oh, my God.
Hey, one thing. And I've worked construction for several years, and I've worked started at 3 o'clock in the morning, several times in their floor. String out the lights, and sometimes you start at 3 o'clock, and they not work like you got there at the Ag building, they work around the clock
Yeah, sometimes you have to
at work.
do something ahead of time, be prepared for the next people coming in, right? So, yeah. I think it's ridiculous myself.
Well, my concern, especially in the residential area, that's my biggest concern because commercially, you're gonna be outside the town most of the time on commercial stuff.
Not necessarily everything along Washington is commercial.
Yeah.
I have an opinion, I mean, if they're gonna do things like that, at least they ought to inform people, okay, we're gonna come and do this or whatever, that way, people will be ready for something like that. Instead of, just, here it's coming, and they wake you up, if you know they're coming, it's a little different.
You guys, anybody else got any opinions on it?
My motions.
What?
I made that motion to look at doing an ordinance
I'll second it.
for the residential areas especially.
All in favor? You're not even in favor and you made the motion?
Well, no, I made the motion, yeah.
Good. Motion fails 2-3, so. That's out. Anybody else got any opinions on that?
New business.
Okay, new business, we need to close the streets for the Fall Fest. Scott, you said you got your name of the street?
It's Wallace Street up to just before the Freedom Bank. And it will be Locust Street from just past the OBMS station to the first driveway over here off of East Locust Street. And then it'll be North Wallace from Metcalf Street to, what is it, Hammond? Or right where the parking lot for the community center and the library.
Okay.
I think that's it, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. About for the parade on Washington Street, right?
The parade, they have to go through the state to get a permit because
Okay,
of
okay.
the way.
Did you get that streets rolled down or not?
Well, that's Saturday, we need permission from the town to.
Gina Street from
I'll get with him.
Okay.
But they will need permission to use South Washington Street up to Metcalf.
Okay,
So we need permission to shut that down around 2 o'clock till we're.
okay. Okay,
Actually, I would suggest the motion state that give the fall festival committee authority for the streets as they deem appropriate.
okay. You guys heard that? The motion,
That would be my suggestion, because they may have to temporarily, I don't know what other activities are going on, where some of them be closed temporarily, some of them may be closed. No,
so Bruce want a motion for the Fall Fest board to decide what streets close and say know what's going on, so.
that way, if something comes up, it's covered.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second.
Okay, all in favor?
We do actually need one of the forms to be signed by 2 town board members. So I don't know if Nathan's able to, if that's a conflict of interest, or if he can and one other. But
That'll be good.
one of them, we do, it does say we need 2 town board members.
Or what kind?
Or the mayor.
What form? You gotta
It-
put it-
Is the concurrence for temporary use of city or county streets or roads. I can
Okay,
text this, or
yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
I need to bring a printed copy. It's in my office bag at home.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think it's any difference which two.
Have any public comment?
I do want to thank you, Ray, and you, Larry, for coming to the newest business in town, our new LifeSpring Health, Dale Clinic Health Service. So that's fantastic that we have another health choice provider opportunity here in town. So we want to make sure that folks are aware of that. Appreciate you being there to support that.
There's a lot of people there for that, wasn't
Yes, there were.
You skip new business.
there? Do I?
You skip new business.
Both streets, you guys, you got some of the new business?
I would like to let the public know that I was advised this past week about some street signs that need to be replaced and some that need to be put up. Let's start up there at the new apartments, and they would like to have from Dunn to Cherry Street, a stop sign on Cherry, stops on Dunn and Cherry Street. This is for the school buses. In Gaines Street and Cherry Street, a stop sign. Stop on Gaines and Brown, and a street sign there. Street sign on Brown and Main. As there was a ruling set for the sign, those signs need to be put on the right-hand side of the road.
Yeah, it's right.
With this person who was concerned about having Brown Street completely open and those other streets that are not on Brown, a stop sign there.
We do that, we'll have to amend the traffic flow, we have a traffic flow ordinance. We'll have to amend that, a resolution on traffic flow. We have to maintain a traffic flow, which shows that some rules and regulations on that, so the traffic flow is deemed uniform through town. But there is an ordinance, we do have a traffic flow, it's a resolution, I think, rather than an ordinance.
Well, when those
But
apartments open up, the
I
traffic,
understand, but we just, that part of what we need to do is keep that traffic flow. We probably need to go through and amend it, and review the whole situation so that it's correct.
In other words, you still gonna throw signs that's everywhere.
That's right.
I know we replaced a few street signs with Steam and all, we've ordered a bunch of new poles. In fact, we got a new rocket way sign, a bigger ones, just up out by the truck stops. And we're just about out of material. We've been trying to order stuff. It takes a while sometimes to get what you need. And we know there's a lot of street signs that need to be replaced. And a lot of things, yeah, it's like, as far as just throwing stop sign, we're not allowed to do that without permission, to do so.
Yeah, we need to sit down and review with that request, with the existing traffic flow resolution.
If you'll give us a list of the street signs we need replaced, I can get them ordered.
Let's review.
Well, the street sign, yeah.
Let's review the traffic flow and make sure that we can do what been requested to do.
Like you just ordered the post for the street signs, we just go down and run low on materials.
So that, I think that flow
this would, go underneath our comprehensive plan. Put a new sidewalks from the new apartments to the grocery store.
I don't know what, the new apartments?
Yeah.
All the way to the grocery store?
Yeah,
Oh, there's even room along there for that, is there?
I would have ditch right there. That's the only ditch we can't disturb.
well, we put a new, culvert all the way down.
Well,
This
that's
one here.
right alongside the road though. That's,
This will be beside the road too.
well, that's one of the main drainage areas in there. I mean, it costs a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But if we can get a grant,
If, yeah, you'd have to have an engineering firm to look at it.
After that, engineer. Would have to be-
So in other words, it'd have to be.
So it has to be surveyed,
People's not gonna-
have to be surveyed and engineered by sure.
Yeah, the people probably wouldn't want it in their front yard, so.
I don't know where the property lines are.
Yeah.
I'm not so sure.
There's a lot of property line running through there too.
But I'm not so sure some of them, when you get up towards where Jeff Dyke has his property, that he doesn't under the center of the road. Yeah. So you'd have to seek right of ways and all this kind of stuff to do that. It's doable, but it's not simple.
Nobody else got anything under new business? Bruce, you have anything?
Not
Kristen, you have anything besides the treasury report?
Something about the Dell Lake, dam inspection. Cindy got sent an email about a company that's wanting to inspect it, and if you were wanting to do it, you have to sign it. But I'll give all this to you.
I think that's the same one we get every year.
Yeah,
Is it-
Cindy told me he's supposed to, if you approve it, I mean,
Yeah, Drew,
yeah, he's supposed to call me.
Drew Flamian does that every year.
In other words, you're basically approving him to come and do
Oh,
something.
I need to have a motion for that.
I'm familiar with it. We've done some of the improvements out there. There's always something.
Let's see.
Sign, there, shut the. What is the,
You probably need to announce what it's going to cost to be there. I think we're going to have to do it.
Forced to.
Okay.
$5,750. Used to be $3,000.
So that's
Yeah.
5,000 what?
$750.
Basic permits, but I heard $1,800 in about 50 years.
You know, we had talked about selling the Bell Lake. We need to bring it up again. What we want to do with that. I don't keep nothing on here to sign.
What's that, every 2 years, isn't it? I think.
did you ever get those trees out there?
Hmm?
Did you ever get those trees out,
Which one?
spillway?
Yeah, yeah, with that all. Yeah, up on the side, yeah, that's what, in rip. But, they're probably growing back again, all we do is cut them.
We have to have that inspected, right? Bruce?
Yeah.
I guess I need a motion to approve the inspection for, it's every. For you. Costs $5,750 to inspect the Dell Lake. I need a motion to that.
I'll make that motion.
Second,
All in favor?
Cindy and where, plus she talked to me about same inspectors again.
When is Cindy coming back? You know,
Tomorrow night,
okay,
maybe.
I'll get with her on this, where to sign that at. Kristen, do you have anything else, Kristen?
I don't know if I'm supposed to give this ordinance, to Bruce. Well, Cindy, I see a note right here, the 25-6 ordinance.
Oh, no,
That's for next.
that's for the next meeting.
Okay,
Yes.
that's all I know.
Do I need a motion to approve the treasurer's report?
Make motion to approve treasurer's report for the name.
Second,
All in favor? Motion to approve the claims?
make a motion to claims.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Next meeting will be September 9th. I need a motion to adjourn.
Make motion to adjourn.
Get it.
All in favor? Meeting adjourned.
You said that, Jim.
Yeah, we're having a bunch of issues.